Hello, everyone. Nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. It's big news time. It's big news time. So, obviously, we talked about this on the CBC stream earlier today. Tomorrow, we do have a champion training event kicking off, which is actually running for a good few days. Let me bring up Plarium Play. It's starting tomorrow on Wednesday, the 16th. It ends on Sunday morning. So, you basically have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, a 4-day champion training. The points are probably going to be very high for this one, but there are some legendary and epic relic materials in there. It's either a 5 or 6-star chaos, or I don't know. It's hidden behind. Let's be skeptical. It's a 5-star. I don't know. A legendary tome, a mythical tome. So yep, that is a big event. If you've got a ton of energy, mythical books are basically always a good way to spend it. But it sort of depends. Like, I'm on the fence. I'm like, technically for me, given the amount of gems I have, etc., it would make sense for me to grab a mythical skill tome. But champion training is a bit of a slog, so I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. Now, here's another thing though that I'm on the fence about. This is the big news that you won't know before watching this video, or unless you've watched other videos first, which I suppose is possible. It breaks my heart. But on Thursday, the 17th of July, Path of the Lost event, where you can get the legendary champion Balor the Lost and other stuff. It's going to be for 96 hours. So yeah, that starts on Thursday. So the day after the day CVC ends, right? So in 2 days, 17th of July is the 15th right now. So it's coming right up. Balor the Lost guaranteed with some other stuff too. How do you get points? Summoning champions and getting artifacts, so dungeon divers. So, yeah, in terms of like energy and grinding, etc., champion training events where you're going to go. This Heroes Path event is effectively mostly just from shards, is the reality. I'm sure there will be a shard event, some progressive events alongside it, particularly over the weekend. The fact this begins on a Thursday, I wouldn't be surprised if they could do something like have a different progressive event every day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That might happen. Maybe we'll see faction unities or something in there. I don't know. But we'll see. There's no news, unfortunately, yet. Okay, 2 news videos for me. Hey, that's nice, I guess. But yeah, unfortunately, nothing to share yet as to what the summoning events will be. Maybe there just won't be anything on Thursday as well. That's possible that, just Thursday's just a dead day and then some sort of summoning event at the weekend. I'm sure there will be a summoning event at the weekend at the very least. But yeah, Dungeon Divers is typically pretty bad for points for this sort of event. It will give you you'll save a few shards, but, it'll be like a 10% discount off the shard cost. That's sort of the way to look at it. It's really not going to be very substantial at all unless you've got like more energy than you know what to do with, and you're just, whatever, you're grinding the event dungeon in 2 seconds with a Seek friend or something, right? It's just not going to be too substantial. Big rewards in here though. Legendary champion Balor the Lost, the 5-star perfect soul, an avatar, rare, epic, legendary, and mythical twisted horns. So that's big. That's big in terms of the relics. Again, the quick review, the mid event. Where are we going for that? Here we go. The mid event review. I think that's it. Gilded Pinion and Down aren't that great. Skull of Treason is pretty cool for Arena. I've seen a lot of people ask me, "No, is this good for like Ninja or something?" It's not great. HP Burn is mostly, it's really, really good early game, and this is a great early game relic because HP Burn, it doesn't scale off your gear. So when you're a new player, it's great. When you get to the end game, HP Burn basically kind of sucks in most places. They've nerfed it in the event dungeon as well, so they want it to not be that good for PvE. But it is very strong in Arena with Incinerate. So champions like Gizmak, Sulfurion, champions who can place lots of burns, potentially explode them, have a lot of, like, it's a counter stone skin as well, which is very good. And Incinerate is just a crazy strong blessing. Now, the 2 mythicals are phenomenal. They are, like, ridiculously good. Covetous Passion is sort of like a cat's gaze. So it's good. Crown of Corruption is even better, though, because it's, like, the best speed relic in the game. It gives you so much speed, which is, in my opinion, a weird design, but it's how it works. And they've never really balanced any relics, so who the heck knows? So there is that. So the relic things are good to go for. Like mythical relic fragments especially are few and far between. So I expect them to be extremely expensive. But for anyone who's lots of resources saved or stockpiled or big spenders, that's the sort of thing to target in the game. Mythical relic fragments, yeah, it's you're rolling the dice very much. Like I don't like for you still have only a 20% chance to get a mythical, so 80% of the time you are massively disappointed. But 20% of the time you're extremely happy. So it is you know, kind of shit, but still really good. But kind of shit, but really good. That's Raid Shadow Legends, folks. Welcome to the game. I'm glad you've joined us. Balor the Lost. This guy is interesting. He definitely feels to me like a Chimera champion, but I think he'd be good progression champ everywhere. But then again, I think it's fairly unlikely that anyone in progression is going to be able to do this hero's path unless, again, you're spending a ton of money. Hero's path are typically so expensive. They're more late game events, really. This guy's like a mix between, I would say, a Supreme Kale and maybe, I don't know, maybe a bit of Tomb Lord or something. But yeah, he's increased accuracy for your team, decrease resist on all enemies, and then he does AoE poisons, which is cool. Then he puts out a AoE leech and instantly activates all poisons on all enemies as well. And then his A1, poison sensitivity. His passive is giving him a bunch of ignore defense and some turn meter. So yeah, kind of cool, simple. So the idea is he's bringing lots of buffs and debuffs, mostly poison stuff, and they're all AoE. While his damage himself, he should be doing some good direct damage, but that will all be single target. Chimera, like I said, a pretty good spot. There are trials that need increase accuracy, decrease resist. There's trials that need poison and poison sensitivity and shields. There's a trial that needs a leech. So yeah, he definitely seems like he will enable a lot of trials for Chimera. Now, I haven't seen too much of him. Like, I don't think he does crazy damage, but this is something I think that can be worth considering is for Chimera, depending on what your team is doing for Chimera Clash in a given week, you could either go like, okay, this week I'm going to score a bit low, but I'm maximizing my trials to get, as many of the relic crafting materials as possible. So doing loads of trials is really good. Or, well, I'm going to maximize my score for Chimera Clash. Those might be different things, which is sort of interesting. It's one of the few interesting things about Chimera Clash to me. I do think that's somewhat interesting that you might use very different sorts of teams depending on what you're trying to do. And I think that Balor, he might fit in pretty well. I think he's unlikely to compete with the top damage dealers for that, but yeah, in terms of Chimera Clash, I don't think he's going to be an absolute MVP, but he will be very good. And also, I mean, at the end of the day, he's doing AoE poisons and increase accuracy, AoE decrease resist. For progression, it's phenomenal. And he can blow up the poisons, and the leech is nice. And he's going to be a bit of self-sustain. And, I think he'd be pretty cool for wave content, pretty cool for Faction Wars Hard. Got good potential. Arachnelixir Relic is going to be very strong on him. You're going to be building him with high attack. So you give him the Arachnelixir and this rare one here, which not that bad to get once you're into Faction Wars Hard, like at all. And yeah, it's going to give you a ton of extra damage from his poison. So he's an interesting champ. I'm definitely going to get him. For me, there is, by the way, a gift. I think you get a Skull of Treason and maybe some other stuff. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure if you collect all 4 of the legendaries from Chaos Awakes. And it's something that is interesting about this is they've now done a, obviously you've got Lemonisi, the login. We had Tholan, who's the fusion. They did a deck of Fate for Grakos a couple of days ago, right? And now they're doing a Hero's Path guaranteed for Balor. So that's interesting. You can actually get all 4 legendaries. They've all been available from a guaranteed source, right? Very expensive, absolutely. The Grakos and Balor, they're definitely going to be very expensive champions to get in terms of resources, but they are available as a guaranteed way. That is, yeah, like I said, I like it, and then I don't like part of it. What I really like is that it's a big event, and you can actually get the champions. You can actually get the champions part of the event. That's super cool. And you can actually get the gift thing, like the extra rewards for collecting all of them. That being actually not reliant on just buying loads of shards and praying. Again, that's really cool. But the part that I don't love is the fact that they they're sort of, I feel like they're trying to do both things, where they've also run a bunch of like 15x events and 10x events for these champions as well, which is a bit weird. And as well as the fact that they don't tell you ahead of time whether or not they're going to be. So, like, for example, when the next big event comes up and the next Balor type champion comes up, we'll be sitting here going, well, will he be available guaranteed or not? Do I pull on these 15x events for him and like, do I go for them or not? Because like, maybe it will turn out in the end that, oh yeah, you should have just gambled. It was the only way to get him. Now you can't get him. Or maybe be like, oh yeah, well, you shouldn't have gambled. We were going to run it guaranteed for him anyway. It's that weird sort of thing. I feel like they're trying to do two things, and I don't love it. Yeah, I don't love that. Don't love that. So yeah, I do like his sword though. That's something I do love. It is a very cool sword. So yeah, for me, I will definitely get Balor. I don't know about his 5-star soul. Um, and I'd be prioritizing Balor. If you are intending to use him, the 5-star soul is going to be quite nice. Now he doesn't really need the accuracy because of his A3. I think he gets away without it. But he might have some potential somewhat in Arena. Would he? I don't think he'd be particularly good, so I wouldn't worry too much about Arena. I don't know. He does also, one thing to point out, if you do have Kaldor, let me not forget this, and for Siege especially, Kaldor, he wants like lots of poisons on the enemy, and he does cool stuff when they've got poisons. He combos very well. Kaldor and Balor combo very well together. So if you love Kaldor, Balor would be a very, very strong faction companion for him. So that's definitely something that would make you more excited to get Balor for sure. Which is fine too. That's cool. But yeah, mythical bits. I'm definitely interested in some more mythical relics. The champion, definitely for me. And then we'll see about the soul. I mean, this all sounds super expensive. Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of void shards, but this gets a bit tight. We'll see. We'll see what the events are. I'm personally hoping there'll be some faction unity stuff up and we can do some sacreds. But yeah, if I do this event, which I will definitely do, I'll definitely get Balor at least, because then I'll get a Skull of Treason, I think, from the guarantee gifts. Yeah. That's where I'm at, but it might be very intensive on the old shards. But there we go. Hero's Path, it is coming up. It's coming on Thursday. Let me know what you think. Yeah, we'll see what the path looks like on Thursday. Like I said, I guess we'll hear about what boosted summons are going to be alongside this. Tomorrow would be my guess. And yeah, we'll see. That's it. It's spicy though. It's spicy. I was kind of expecting yesterday, right, that they do something substantial enough during the downtime here between the fusion, and this is step one. I'd expect more stuff next week as well. So yeah, there we go. Balor. That's it. All right, let me know what you think. Like, I think it's cool, but the cost. At what cost, I ask you? He's a cool looking champ. Anyway, there we go. I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.